Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we return with round 12 of the F1 2006 Championship Edition career mode. Yes, we're back this weekend here for the Hungarian Grand Prix, of course. If you missed out on the last video that went live from Hockenheim, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. But yeah, just a handful of races to go now of the season. Michael Schumacher, I guess you could argue, probably has one hand on the trophy there. A 23-point lead over teammate Felipe Massa there. Real champion from 2006 even, Fernando Alonso. 51 points. He's down in P5 at the moment in the table. But Midland, we are still after our first point of the season. I don't know how many times I've said it and how many opportunities we've missed, but desperately searching still for that first point of the campaign. If you're new around here, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed to the channel. But yeah, let's get on with it though. Let's head to the Hungaroring. Quickly, before we get into that though, I just wanted to remind you guys, if you're planning on making any sim racing purchases over this holiday season, it would be greatly appreciated if you would use my links down in the description below. We've partnered up with Fanatec, Moser, Camus, Logitech, Thrustmaster, and even Amazon to help you guys out. Of course, it costs you no extra money at all, but if you use those links, you help support the channel for free, and maybe you can start using the same sim racing gear that I use. So yeah, check the links down in the description below. Like I said, costs you nothing, but I get a small kickback if you decide to purchase anything, and it would be greatly appreciated. Well, here we are then, at the Hungaroring, and of course, as always, the first part of free practice is just used to work out how inaccurate the track is. And the answer is very here. What on earth is that through turn 1? It's now suddenly a tight hairpin corner with a lot of banking on the exit. Obviously turn 2 down the hill, of course, or on the flat apparently now. How is the blind apex of turn 4 going to be? Of course, normally head uphill here. Apparently we head downhill and it's no longer really a blind apex anymore. That is kind of hilarious. There's apparently a wall now, very close to the circuit on the exit as well. I'm going to guess the chicane all weekend is going to be a nightmare to try and navigate as well. Well, usually, I must admit, I hate the Hungaroring, but because this version of the venue is so badly done, I actually feel like at the moment it might be a better track to race on for me personally. So we make our way through the final couple of corners then. Again, walls much closer to the track. But yeah, let's get some laps under my belt then. Now we kind of know what we're expecting here. Not really the Hungaroring. I mean, even looking at the track map, it seems not quite. It seems like it was drawn by a 6-year-old. I can't get over the fact they've completely butchered some of this track's kind of like most famous corners and things like that. There's so many memories from this venue. Of course, the 2006 race, though. Your weekly little bit of F1 trivia. Actually, obviously, Jenson Button's very first Formula 1 win. Yeah, had a mega weekend here. Hungaroring, you know, he looked rapid, took some grid penalties, and still was able to fight through as both Fernando Alonso and Michael Schumacher ran into problems on a very rainy Sunday. But yeah, JB, you remember potentially that footage of him with his eyes. I don't think I've ever seen eyes as wide open as his were. But anyway, we'll do some more laps behind the scenes and we'll join you guys in qualifying.
Slightly more than 4.3 kilometres of twisting Hungarian racetrack lie here in almost complete silence at the moment. However, all that is about to change as Saturday qualifying at the Hungaroring gets underway.
I mean, look at that track map. Why on earth there's a corner down the front straight? I'll never quite understand. But I reckon this is up there with the Nürburgring as the worst recreation in F106. Oh no. Oh dearie me, it's raining. Just like it was in Hockenheim. We are in trouble. Well, still yet to deal with a wet race though on F106, but yeah, this does not bode well as we get into qualifying then here in Magyar Nagadic. Just gonna have to try and keep it clean and tidy and see what the pace is like. We're kind of in this horrible little damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario here. We have to run the traction control higher because this car is that unstable. But you can just see on the exits of corners, it is working overtime everywhere. And of course, cutting the power to the engine. But will we be able to perform a bit of a miracle here in Q1? I'd love to see us into Q2. because we know how difficult it is to overtake here. I mean, yeah, you've got to avoid the curbs anyway inside this game, so I guess our driving in that regard doesn't really have to change too much. But yeah, just being very careful until we completely slice turn 4. It's not even a blind apex anymore, yet I still can't find my way through it. Well, Heidfeld has set the benchmark then, and we are pretty much there with the AI. Ralf Schumacher now fastest, and we actually went quicker than the Toyota driver, so if we get a clean lap, we might be able to set some good times. Or we can have a nice tank slapper out of turn 1. Come on, go with a straight line car. Right, we're heading back out then towards the end of Q1. Wanted to make sure we got enough fuel to complete a run. But yeah, track seems to be getting quicker. Other cars are improving. But will we be able to get a lap hooked up here? I do not want to find ourselves out in Q1 2 weekends in a row. Oh, we're out in Q1. Literally as soon as I say that. Cannot get a lap together in the rain, and we are out of it here in qualifying. Shocking way to end the session there. We certainly had a lot more pace than that. But I guess we're starting at the back then for the Hungarian Grand Prix. We have got a mountain to climb.
Welcome to the Hungaroring in Budapest for this year's Hungarian Grand Prix. In 1986, the Hungarian Grand Prix made history when it was the first F1 race to be run behind the Iron Curtain. Characterised by its dusty and slippery surface, the Hungaroring has the tightest layout on the Formula 1 calendar, that is apart from Monaco. Overtaking here is very difficult, so a good qualification is absolutely crucial. Pretty much perfect weather conditions for racing here today, so we should see some very competitive lap times during this race. It's pole for Juan Pablo Montoya. Second on the grid is Felipe Massa. They're followed by Giancarlo Fisichella in third. Fourth is Rubens Barrichello. Trulli takes fifth. Jenson Button completes the third row. Ralf Schumacher is seventh. Fernando Alonso rounds off the top 8.
Well, Michael Schumacher out of position after qualifying. But what can we do from the back of the field? The autopilot, I've got to give it credit, is sometimes very, very odd on this game because I have no doubts in my mind. Unless we had a mechanical issue, I absolutely would be disqualified for how far away it forces me to be from the drivers in front.
Once you're sat on the grid, your tyre temperatures will drop again. So make sure that you finish this sector with as much heat in the tyres as possible. The current temperatures are a little low at the moment.
I don't think we need to worry about that too much. Everyone else is going to be absolutely freezing on the pit lane. But riding our way then through the final couple of corners here at the Hungaroring. It's going to be a last question mark challenge today. We've got our work cut out.
Everything's looking good. Good luck and enjoy the race.
Make sure we get our traction set back up.
You can really feel the tension. The race is go, go, go!
That Toro Rosso didn't go anywhere. And instantly, what is this?
So does Massa.
You can tell.
The field is tightly packed as they head towards the first corner.
That has got to be the dumbest start I've had.
He's followed by Montoya. Next is Fisichella.
Right, I think we've just got to stay out of trouble then. Yuji Ide already blowing up before we made turn 1. Had to get out of it to avoid him there. We picked up a tiny bit of nose cone damage of Takuma Sato braking on the racing line as well there. But looks like Massa's taking the lead off the start. So Ferrari here potentially looking rather strong as what on earth is that? Takuma Sato's just sent it around the outside over the grass, not span out from it, and has somehow gained a spot from, I think it's Scott Speed, isn't it? In the Toro Rosso there. But as we make our way through the chicane, I'm just trying to take things so easy on lap 1.
It's reading green on the condition indicator.
Around the outside. Thank you. Yeah, this is one of the dumbest starts I think I've ever had, and this game has some pretty dumb starts on its good days. But got to try and make our way through some of these backmarker cars. So I felt like we had good pace here today. But yeah, we just want to try and get to the finish first and foremost. Around the outside of Sato. Through the final corner. A little bit wide there. You've got to be so careful. Jacques Villeneuve had a nightmare in qualifying. And look at this. Some of the cars just stood still. Oh! Jack Milner there parked it on the exit of the final corner. We will make it through. We know where the oil is, so I need to avoid that.
The field looks like this. Massa is first. Montoya is second. Fisichella third. Barrichello fourth. Button is fifth. He's moved up from sixth. Trulli's sixth. He's down from fifth. Next is Ralf Schumacher, and Schumacher is eighth.
Got both Schumachers then right with each other at the bottom of the points, but yeah, we made up 5 places then on the opening lap, so not doing badly.
Time through sector 1, keep it going.
Well, I don't want to get optimistic and say that points might be possible today, but I certainly feel like we've got the pace for them. It's just whether we'll be consistent enough to try and get a score. You can see Luizzi there, very, very slow through the final couple of turns. Can we have a look round his outside? Try and get round the last of the proper back markers. Yes, we will.
Okay, you're running 16.
So there, the pace in the car actually very, very impressive. The pace of the AI out of that final corner, a lot to be desired. Yeah, the AI can be so weird on the brakes in certain places still, and clearly out of that final turn is going to be one of them, as round the outside of Rosberg will go. Will we be able to get fully around him? I think we have.
Maintain your current speed.
I think we're going to have to try and avoid that green AstroTurf. But we are finding time each and every lap, and with that we are finding positions. Christian Klein, very, very slow through the penultimate corner. Just about finding the avenue round the outside of him.
You're moving up the field well.
We can try and get a run on Webber at the final turn in the second Williams car. Yes, we will. Look at this. We are flying along. 22.4 there, pretty happy with that as a new fastest lap. And we're up almost half the field already. I keep thinking though, someone locked up at turn 1. I keep thinking that is an oil spill.
Half second faster through sector 1.
Oh, yellow, someone's dropped oil. Who is it? Where is it? More importantly than that. Make our way through, just trying to avoid. There it is. Oh, yeah, nothing we can do. That. What's going on? I'm too scared to move.
While your tyres are blue, don't go crazy.
Who is it? It's Montoya.
Traction.
Pole sitter Montoya is out of the GP, but a roadblock behind us through the chicane. We definitely couldn't do anything about it. We'd already tried to attack the curbs as best as possible, and the car just went round on me. But now we have got a huge gap up to the other McLaren of Raikkonen in 11th. McLaren having a nightmare here. Although I do believe this was the first race that Montoya wasn't part of McLaren anymore. Of course, left to go to NASCAR. It looks like, yeah, Fernando Alonso and Michael Schumacher still battling for that final point early on. Could we get to that battle today? We are running early on here, over a second a lap faster than Raikkonen up the road. I think he's getting a little bit held up by Coulthard, and I think Nick Heidfeld is in 9th, but we are cooking. Look at that, the gap down to 4 seconds to Kimi in front. Yeah, I'll say I'll be very, very careful not to take too much risk still, but we are really clawing back places and time. And luckily, of course, now we're building up a bit of a gap of safety.
The tyres are accumulating some wear now. Just keep an eye on it.
Yeah, gonna have to be careful with the tyres, but yeah, we're also building up a safety buffer from Webber and Rosberg behind. That spin has kind of split the field into 2.
Through sector 1.
Same, it wasn't the best line I've done through turn 4. Well, we've still got a couple more laps till our pit window, but already a lot of wear showing up on the tyres. Hopefully everyone else is struggling with it as well, but I feel like the car's about to get slidey. First car into the pit lane though, I believe it's one of the Hondas. Make our way out of the final turn. Hopefully we're going to get a place out of it. Yep, Button. Of course, the real life race winner here. And I think we might just have set a new lap record. Well, Jenson Button then has actually been able to come out ahead of that big train of cars behind. When he got 6.5 seconds over him. And he's going to be on much, much quicker tyres. However, I'm being told to box at the end of next lap. Come on then, David. Come on, we can play nice with each other at the moment. You know, two fellow, well, I guess he's Scottish really, but great British drivers. Oh, back end sliding there. That was not fun. Kind of horrible. You got to bury the throttle sometimes. Get the traction control to kick in, but, you know, now we've learnt what we need to do in terms of pitting on not the correct lap as into the pits will come. Really nice and easy on the way in. Hopefully the car will slow down. Quite happy, yeah, with all that. First stint has gone incredibly well. No spin, well, one spin. But yeah, the pace has been fantastic. Can we nail the pit stop now and continue to show good pace? Slowly learning the buttons I need to press. Oh, there we go. 9.7. I'm pretty happy with that. My goal is under 10 for most of our stops this season. Where is Kimi going to be? Have we got the jump on Kimi Räikkönen? I think we might be.
The tyres are shown as green on the indicator.
Got very cold rubber. We have jumped Kimi Räikkönen and then there's our car going up in smoke. No! How did we not lose a wheel there? Jacques Villeneuve blew up in front of me and we couldn't really do a lot then about the oil spill. We've got a little bit more damage. But we are into P13 again. Coulthard then has got a big jump on me, so the undercut for Kimi and myself has really not worked out. Might have another car going slowly though. There was more warnings of oil around the venue. But yeah, Räikkönen now back in hot pursuit. We've got a few more cars to pit. But we are almost back towards the points. Kimi, though, behind me is very, very relentless with the pace. But we are still taking bits and pieces out of Coulthard in front. He's going to have slightly better tyres by the end of this race. But we are not going to be far away from the points here.
Okay, P11 right now.
Back into 11th then, and we can see Michael Schumacher is in that final points-paying position. Just a few seconds up the road. Oh, someone! Michael Schumacher's, he's gone! Schumacher's out of it!
Sector 1, monitors show a yellow flag.
Schumacher is out of the Grand Prix and suddenly, points are right there in front. Nick Heidfeld is the final points-paying position at the moment. Surely not from the back of the field. We've got a long way to go to try and keep it clean and tidy, but we are in the fight for points.
Next is Ralf Schumacher. Heidfeld is in 8th place.
Down the inside of DC at turn 1. It's risky, it's bold, it's beautiful though. And into 9th we go then of the GP, and points are right here. We've had so many missed opportunities this season as DC tried to have a look back down my inside there at turn 2, but if we can take a chance today, we've got to go for it here. We desperately want to end the point drought this season that has plagued us. Feels like it's been the same as well in the Lancia career mode on F123. Yet to score points in either of those series. And we're at the Hungaroring in both of those events next. Of course, Hungaroring today in this series, but can we find a way around Heidfeld? Oh, a lot of curb there. That was risky. Don't want to do that if we can avoid it as best as possible, but a handful of laps to go then here in Hungary, and we are all over the back of Nick Heidfeld. I'm sure BMW would love an extra point for their championship campaign. Can we get to his inside? Not going to gamble it there over the curbs.
Is 4th, Trulli 5th, Alonso 6th. Next is Ralf Schumacher. Heidfeld is in 8th place.
Come on, get past Heidfeld. We've done it, we're through. And into the points there. We almost binned it trying to get out of the final corner, but yeah, Ralf Schumacher less than 4 seconds up the road. Although I don't want to try and take big risks to try and close up to him. He's not that far away, but we are into the points of the Hungarian Grand Prix, sorry. Can we score? I guess the big things that could upset us now would either be we bin it and make a mistake, or if the engine goes. 4 laps to go here from the Hungaroring. We might be close enough to Ralf Schumacher to have a look for something. We know how slow the AI are through the final couple of corners here, so let's just keep it tidy.
Massa is 1st. Fisichella is 2nd. 3rd is Barrichello. Button is 4th. Trulli 5th. Alonso 6th. Next is Ralf Schumacher. You're 8th.
Not 8th anymore. 4 laps to go. We are up into 7th place there, but there's no chance we're going to get Alonso by the end of this race. But can we bring home a historic 2 points for Midland? Keep it on the island.
We're on lap 20. Massa is 1st.
Thought I'd let you know that the race leader has just retired.
What? Massa's out! Felipe Massa's out of the Grand Prix. Ferrari have had a nightmare here. Both cars out, so that helps Schumacher in the championship. There's oil down somewhere, so I'm going to have to get off the racing line. But this could be us up into P6 of the race. Where's that oil? Where's that oil? There it is. Avoid it. Avoid it at all costs. We're up into 6th we go. Here in the Hungarian Grand Prix with just a lap and a half left. Well, honestly, I'm scared to even talk still at the moment, but 1 more lap to go here from the Hungaroring. And it looks like Renault and Honda have both got a huge chance to take big points out of Ferrari here. We have not seen a double Ferrari retirement all season, I believe. But heartbreak for Massa, who had led this thing basically from the get-go. Michael Schumacher having a bit of a stinker, and both of them will retire down at turn 2 at separate points of the afternoon. But as we make our way on the final lap here of the Hungarian Grand Prix, I'm still scared to comment anything yet about a finish, because I'm so worried that we're going to do something on this final lap. We've got 4 seconds to Ralf Schumacher. We do not need to take any risks here, and this has just been such a brutal series up to this point. For those of you that are still sticking around, still watching the episodes, it is so greatly appreciated, and hopefully with just one more sector to go, we are going to give you something worth celebrating here. Fisichella, I think, is going to win the Hungarian Grand Prix.
He's done it. Fisichella powers across the line in first place, 10 points. Finishing in second is Barrichello.
Round in the final corners. Come on, let's bring it home. Midland, their first ever points in Formula 1 out of the final corner. We've only gone and done it.
That's the 13th race of the season completed. Unlucky for some? Possibly. But it's provided an interesting spectacle once again. We take a longer break now, so teams and drivers can spend a little time with family and friends before we enter the final part of the season. Next stop is Turkey, at the latest Herman Tilke circuit, just outside Istanbul. With its notorious turn 8 ready to bite at anyone who's not concentrating fully, I can't wait for the action to start there. Join us in 3 weeks' time, where East meets West, for another thrilling chapter in the F1 calendar. Goodbye for now.
Well, what a result that is. P6 here from the Hungarian Grand Prix. Finally, we have scored our first points of the season there. Looks like, yeah, Christian Alba's down in P16. A bit of a disappointment for him after a very good qualifying, but neither Ferrari, Jacques Villeneuve, or Juan Pablo Montoya, or Yuji Ide will make it to the checkered flag this weekend. That means, Teams Championship-wise, Fisichella now Michael Schumacher's biggest threat as we head into the final few races of the season there. Both of the Renault drivers jumping up the order. We're into P14 though, ahead of Rosberg and Webber. 3 points to our name as Heidfeld and Ralf Schumacher get a couple more on the board. But that is absolutely everything for the team there. Honda will jump McLaren, Mercedes as well into P3 there. Renault could still be a threat to Ferrari by the end of the season, but Midland as well up to P9. We only need a couple more points and we could be challenging Red Bull as well there. But what a weekend here from the Hungarian Grand Prix. Let's see what the team have got to say. Well, we have got an email in the inbox. What are the teams suggesting? Excellent drive. We love to see it. Your performance in the Magyar Negadic was outstanding. You are a very special talent who seems to be able to push our cars to the limit. I suspect that our competitors are green with envy that you drive for Midland F1 and not them. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we'll be back very soon when Formula 1 returns ready for the Turkish Grand Prix. You guys do not want to miss that. A massive thank you to all of my YouTube members and my Patreon supporters for their continued donations to help my work. These things go much further than I think a lot of you ever realise and allow me to continue making content full-time here on YouTube. So if you want to support me from as little as £1 a month and be featured on all of these end clips, either click the join button next to the subscribe or head over to my Patreon. There's a link down in the description.